My name is Ariana. My nickname is Safari Ari or Ari Safari, and that has been a nickname of mine ever since I was just a little girl because animals have been a very huge part of my life. My first word was ish for fish, not even mom or dad. I grew up saying I wanted to go to vet school. I went to college with that plan, graduated, and while I was in college, I worked at a vet clinic, and while working there, I decided it might not be exactly what I wanted to do. So once I graduated, I became a zookeeper at our local zoo, and after that, I decided to start my own zoo. So we do tours, we do birthday parties, we do sloth encounters here at Safari Hills. When you first walk in a huge aviary, hence all the birds that you're hearing in the background. And this is Perry. This is the world's largest parrot, largest macaw in the world. Perry is very mischievous, and when you come visit him, he's the one who picks someone from every tour to hang out on your shoulder. And the reason why he's acting like this right now is because he knows I have this nut right in my hand, which is a macadamia nut, and it is the hardest nut. So he's the only one out of my macaws that can crack them. When people walk in for a tour and you get to see all of our parrots, we have a huge variety of parrots. We have quite a few macaws. We have Amazons, cockatoos, African greys. I tell everyone out of all the animals that we have, and we have a lot, the birds are the absolute hardest. And the noisiest, as you guys can hear. They're very intelligent. These guys can live anywhere from 60 to 80 years, the larger birds like Perry. And they are very mischievous, if I haven't said that already. Perry, he knows how to open all the bird cages, which is why there are heavy duty locks on all of the cages. He knows how to steal the other bird's food. He knows how to let the other birds out. We don't even put newspaper on the bottom of the trays because he knows how to pull them out, and he will take all the newspaper out. So he is a very, very mischievous bird. Even though he's mischievous, we love him. We love all the parrots, but I try to emphasize the importance of researching before you bring an animal like this home. Since they are so intelligent, they are not an animal to be locked in a cage all day. So I cannot stress enough the importance of researching before bringing home a magnificent animal like a parrot. With that said, I'm going to let Amber, and introduce you to Amber, our Safari Tales handler. And she's going to take Perry. There we go. Thank you, Amber, and thank you, Perry. While we have the very pretty animals like the parrots, and we have some cute and cuddly animals, I tell everyone when they come here, I like to focus on the misunderstood animals. Hence the reason why we're wearing these shirts. Amber's shirt says love the unloved, and mine says you only fear what you don't understand. Because if I can change one person's mind from every tour that I do, from every event that I do, from whoever is watching this video today, from being deathly afraid of one of these animals to at least going home with a new level of respect for them and not wanting to catch everyone that they see in the wild and kill them, then my mission has been complete. Now, with that said, we're going to start off with a couple reptiles. The first one, all of these reptiles that I'm going to be showing you today are all animals that actually make very good beginner reptile pets. Now, a lot of you may have seen one of these or may even have one as a pet at home. But this is Drogon. Drogon is a bearded dragon. They get the name bearded dragon because they actually have a beard right here. These guys are native to Australia. In Australia, there's lots of predators. So what these guys do is they puff up that beard, it turns jet black, they open their mouth, and they look pretty intimidating. So then they can scare off predators. When in reality, they're really just pretty much harmless animals, which is why they make very good beginner pets, because this is a full-grown bearded dragon. They do not get very large, so you can actually keep one as a pet and don't have to worry about building a massively huge enclosure. Afterwards, we may show you some pictures or videos of some ant lizards that don't make the best beginner reptile pets, like Ducky, our Asian water monitor, who has this whole huge outdoor exhibit. Bearded dragons are actually omnivores, which means they eat both bugs and salad. So as babies, they're primarily going to eat mainly bugs, lots of crickets, lots of dubia roaches, worms, and all kinds of stuff. And as they get older, it goes 50-50, and when as adults, they eat primarily salads, 75% salad, collard, turnips, mustard greens, all types of veggies like squash and zucchini, and just a little bit of bugs. Now, we're gonna show you another lizard that is also native to Australia that also makes a very good beginner reptile pet, one that you may not see very often.
Okay.
As you can hear Buddy over there, he's talking. I have no audience today, so Buddy is gonna be in my audience, and he is saying, okay. Now this is called a blue-tongued skink. Now, can you guess why he's called a blue-tongued skink? His tongue is blue. Now, these guys are also native to Australia. In Australia, there are lots of predators, like I said with the bearded dragon. So what he does, since he doesn't have a beard to open up and flare out and scare predators away, he is going to flare that tongue out. Now, I'm going to show you another lizard that actually makes an excellent pet. One that's not even as big as a bearded dragon or a blue-tongued skink, and that is a leopard gecko. Leopard geckos are nocturnal, unlike the blue-tongued skink and bearded dragon. The blue-tongued skink and bearded dragon are up during the day, so they are diurnal. These guys are nocturnal. One cool thing about leopard geckos is they're able to store fat in their tail, which is why many leopard geckos have a fat tail. That way in the wild, their head and tail both look very similar, and so when a predator bites the tail, they can actually release the tail and still escape and eventually grow back a new tail. Not all species of reptiles can do this. Here at Safari Tales, we also have some very cool beginner reptiles that are called crested geckos. One we have with the tail and one who has dropped his tail, and they are not able to regenerate their tails. Another cool thing about these guys versus the crested geckos is these guys do not have any sticky toe pads, unlike the crested geckos who do. Crested geckos are arboreal and they can climb smooth surfaces. Leopard geckos cannot. Crested geckos also do not have any eyelids. Leopard geckos can blink just like we can, but the crested geckos actually have to lick their eyeballs instead of blinking. All make very good pets. Both are nocturnal, so they may be an easier fit for some households that are not able to buy all the proper UVB and enclosures like they would for a bearded dragon or blue-tongued skink. Now, we're going to switch gears for a minute and talk about invertebrates. So invertebrates are animals without a backbone. Animals without a backbone are often a lot of times very feared. A lot of times people don't like these critters that we're about to talk about. These guys are millipedes. We have millipedes and we have centipedes. These often are mistaken for a centipede. Centipedes are a lot quicker, but the biggest difference is centipedes can bite. And our giant Vietnamese centipede, we hope to never find out to get bitten by, because supposedly it hurts very bad. Millipedes, on the other hand, these guys are not carnivores like the centipedes. Centipedes will eat things like other bugs, and they've even been known to eat a small mouse, which is crazy, an invertebrate taking down a mammal. Millipedes are detrivores. So they're going to be out in the woods and they're going to eat stuff like decaying wood, logs, leaves, and dead things. Millipedes have 2 pairs of legs per segment. I don't know, let me see if I can show you guys. It's pretty cool. Lots of legs. 2 pairs of legs per segment, whereas the centipede only has 1 pair. They also have these antennae right there, so they're actually pretty adorable. While people think they're very scary, they're pretty cute and really friendly. This guy's a Texas gold millipede, very common kept as pets. A pretty nice size millipede and a very good beginner millipede to start off with. I'm going to show you another invertebrate, one that a lot of people are pretty afraid of. This is an emperor scorpion. Emperor scorpions are one of the largest type of scorpions. Scorpions have a bad reputation, obviously, because they have a stinger. If you look at the tip of the tail right there. So yes, they can sting you, but just like I try to tell everyone about misunderstood animals, because something can sting or can bite does not mean that they want to. They usually only sting for defense. And these guys are commonly kept as pets because they are known for their docile temperaments. I have never been stung while I'm doing these shows. So as a beginner scorpion, emperors are great. One really cool thing about scorpions that most people don't realize is that these guys actually glow under black light. So we're going to turn off the lights and we're going to have Amber come over here with the black light and show you guys. Isn't that really cool? I always tell everyone, if you want to go scorpion hunting, you go outside, take a black light. For you guys that are watching here in Mississippi, I don't recommend doing it. You're not going to have much luck. The next species we're going to talk about, lots and lots of people are very afraid and hate this creature. They are very misunderstood. They're tarantulas. Tarantulas are spiders. Lots of people kill spiders if you see one in your house. And I try to tell people the majority of the time you see a spider, it's a harmless spider, and all it wants to do is eat all those nasty bad bugs that we don't want. So they're very beneficial to have around. You're not going to see one of these in your house unless someone lost their pet. This here is a Chaco golden knee tarantula. These are a very good beginner species since they're actually known for their docile temperaments and their nice size. One really cool thing about tarantulas is when they grow, they actually molt. So like a snake sheds its skin, these guys molt. And when they molt, they shed everything. They molt their hairs. They molt their fangs, as you can see right here. They molt everything. Now these two, if you look at the difference, this is a size of a bird-eating tarantula's fangs, and this one, if you want to shoot there, much smaller fangs, that is a Mexican red knee. Now, when I was a little girl, I didn't know this, and I had a pet tarantula, and I got home from school, and I started crying, and I said, oh, it died. And I went to get my tarantula out, and he walked around the corner of a boulder and almost gave me a heart attack. Then I realized when they molt, they look like a replication of another tarantula. And another cool thing about that, if they were to get injured, they could possibly lose a leg. And when they molt, they're able to regenerate that leg back. So whenever they molt and regenerate the leg back, they may have one small little leg, and then they molt again and it gets bigger. And eventually when they keep molting, you won't even be able to tell that they ever lost a leg to begin with. Now, one other thing about tarantulas is I am always hoping for a female tarantula. And the reason why is females live 3 times as long as males. Males may typically live from 5 to 8 years. A female tarantula can live anywhere from 15 to 20 years plus. So I'm always hoping to have a female so we can have an ambassador that is going to be around a very long time. Whenever a tarantula molts, it's very, very cool because they actually lay on their back. So don't ever think that a tarantula is dead when you come home. It is actually about to molt. It can take hours of molting, and it's a very, very cool process to watch. They will lay on their backs completely still, and they will come out from underneath, and then they will molt into a brand new tarantula. And when they come out, they'll be much prettier, much larger, and more vibrant in color. This one actually molted recently, and I am proud to say that she is indeed a confirmed female, which I'm very excited about. These are one of my favorite species to talk about because they are so misunderstood, and I love seeing people hold them and understand that, wow, these are not mean after all. Another really cool thing is tarantulas actually have spinnerets at the back of their abdomen. They sometimes spin these and produce what it's called a silk. And so they produce silk like web, and some may even do it after they're eating. And they spin a silk, which is similar to like a dinner plate, since they use their fangs, you can see them, to envenomate their prey, which is usually some type of bug. They're able to turn that bug into a liquid form, and they basically use that silk that they have just spun as a dinner plate so they can eat their prey. One great thing I said about spiders is they eat lots of bad bugs. People ask me all the time, is there anything that I'm afraid of? And there is one thing that I do not like, and those are cockroaches. Now, with that said, I have pet cockroaches, and I raise cockroaches to feed our other animals, and most of the time people think I'm crazy for saying that. Now, these are not like normal household cockroaches, those really nasty bad ones. These are called Madagascar hissing cockroaches. Let me see if I can get her to hiss. Madagascar hissing cockroaches are from Madagascar in Africa, and they're not like the pest cockroaches that we may have. They do not typically go in your homes. They do not eat nasty things and spread nasty germs and diseases. These guys are more like millipedes, the detrivores. They just want to stay out in the woods and eat decaying logs, decaying wood, leaves, etc. These guys are really, really cool because they actually have a unique defense mechanism. They hiss. And when you threaten them, they may hiss by actually blowing air throughout tiny little holes called spiracles that we cannot really see all alongside the body. They blow out the air throughout these holes, and it sounds like hissing noise. A group of these in the wild may actually even scare off predators thinking a snake is nearby. These are also very good beginner invertebrate pets, as they do not bite, as they are very calm. As you can see, this one is not moving around. They do not have wings, so they cannot fly at you, and they're very healthy. These guys here at Safari Tales eat healthier than I do. So very great beginner invertebrate pets. We're gonna go back to reptiles. Reptiles are vertebrates. And if you're wondering what this necklace around my neck is a snake vertebrae. On this table that you can see behind us is called a reticulated python. His name is Gronk. This is the largest snake that we own here at Safari Tales. These guys are the longest snakes in the world. We have Burmese pythons here at Safari Tales as well that also get very large, but reticulated pythons are the longest type of snakes. Anacondas are the biggest because they weigh the most and they're most heaviest bodied, but retics can actually get much longer than anacondas. Now, I do not recommend giant snakes like retics and Burmese pythons as beginner snake pets, but some of these other ones that I'm going to show you can make wonderful beginner pets. This one is actually called a ball python. Now, lots of people wonder why she is so pretty. She is a piebald. So ball pythons, there's many different color morphs. And this is a piebald ball python. Now, you can see ball pythons in the pet stores. Ball pythons are actually native to Africa. They make wonderful beginner snakes because they're one of the smallest type of pythons. They do not get big enough to harm you. They cannot harm anything pretty much. They are very, very docile. And a normal ball python will actually look this brown color right here. The piebald has the white and the brown. These guys let me see if I could show you. If you see right above her mouth, you see all the holes. Those are called sensory heat pits. So snakes are cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals are going to eat warm-blooded animals, lots of which are usually mice and rats at nighttime. So if a mouse or rat were to crawl by, they use these sensory heat pits to sense the warmth and that heat, and they will strike. And since they are constrictors, they will fastly strike their prey, wrap around, constrict, and swallow them whole. Now, I know that sounds very scary, But these guys, like I said, they are probably one of the most harmless animals that I have here at Safari Tales. They do not want to bite. They are very used to being handled. If you were here, I would be letting you guys handle them and take pictures with them. We're gonna show you a couple other species that are also not native here. This first one is Black Dahlia. And one thing you're gonna notice right away, the difference between her and that ball python is the size. Black Dahlia is a Sumatran short-tailed python. So she has a very short tail, if you see right there, hence the name short-tailed python. So she's a very short, thick-bodied snake. Blaze we got is a tiny little baby. Now he is pretty much full grown. Cool thing about Blaze, he is also native to South America. But one thing that we can't tell since we are indoors, you might can, these guys are very gorgeous outdoors. And you can see they get the name Brazilian rainbow boas because they turn into a rainbow color when they're under light, or under natural light is the best way to see it. They have microscopic ridges on their scales, so when the sunlight hits it, turns that rainbow into a iridescent sheen. It's very, very gorgeous. Now I'm going to show you another snake that is actually native. These are actually our only native species here. They're both called corn snakes. This is actually our first snake, my first snake that I have ever owned. We got him as a tiny little baby, and now he has grown to that. And this one is more of a wild type corn snake. That is an albino. So this one would probably be more similar to a snake that you would encounter in the wild. Now corn snakes get their name, corn snakes, because they used to be found in cornfields. They were found in cornfields because guess what else is found in cornfields? Mice and rats. So farmers love these guys since they help them keep down the nasty mice population that were eating their corn. Now, these guys are very closely related to rat snakes. We see lots and lots of rat snakes in Mississippi. I see lots of people harming rat snakes, thinking they are venomous, when in reality, rat snakes are completely harmless and all they want to do is eat all the nasty mice and rats that can spread diseases. We need these guys to keep that rat population, those pest population down and keep the rodent control. So do not kill them. They are very, very beneficial to have. In Mississippi, we only actually have 6 venomous species. So the majority of the time you see a snake, it's a non-venomous snake. Now here's the thing, lots of people call snakes poisonous. And I ask everyone all the time, I ask them if they know the difference between poisonous and venomous. Venomous is the correct term. I tell everyone we are not going out in the wild snatching up these snakes and ingesting them and eating them. That would be crazy. But so that means they would be poisonous if you were to eat something and get deathly sick or ill. So toads are poisonous. Snakes, these guys are not. Now they can be venomous. So that means they actually have fangs and they have to bite and envenomate you. Now, here's the thing. Lots of people tell me only good snake is a dead snake. We just talked about how beneficial these non-venomous snakes are. But I try to tell everyone just because a snake can be venomous or a snake that is venomous does not mean it is out to get you. Venomous snakes actually play a very important role in our ecosystem as well. They also keep the rodent population down, but actually their venom can be used for many medical purposes. They're actually using it for breast cancer. And so they're very, very beneficial to have around. Snakes are not out to get you. They are not going to chase you, despite what some people may think. Now, I cannot stress enough the importance of not killing every snake that you see in the wild. Many times people mistake all of these snakes as cottonmouths. What they don't realize is you may be able to tell a corn snake or a rat snake from a copperhead or a cottonmouth. But there are also many water snakes that look just like a cottonmouth to an unexperienced eye. And so there are ways to tell. If you look on this picture, the water snake has these bands all alongside the mouth, whereas the cottonmouth does not. There are many ways to tell. You are not always able to tell by their eyes, so that is a bit of a myth. So do not look at a snake's eye and know if its pupil is round or vertical, because some venomous snakes' pupils can actually dilate and look round at nighttime as well. Now, I'm happy to do another video on just venomous and non-venomous snakes to help people better identify them. But the important thing to take home with this is, if you see a snake, walk the other way. Do not pick it up. Watch where you step. Some things that you can do to help snake-proof your house is you can mow your lawn. Most people don't realize snakes actually want to be in the woods. Keep the branches away. Now, rat snakes, unfortunately, are attracted to things like eggs and chickens and stuff. So most of the time you see in coops, there are usually rat snakes. I am more than happy, if you guys are close by, to give me a call and I will come relocate those snakes. Now, I know I just told you guys that rats are bad. They get a very bad reputation since nasty wild rats can spread germs, but pet rats are actually very clean. They are very affectionate. There's only one bad thing about pet rats. They have a very short lifespan. So they live around 2 to 3 years, and unfortunately these guys at Safari Tales are about to retire because they are actually older now. This is a hairless rat that Amber's holding. Mine is not, as you can tell. Rats are extremely intelligent. People don't realize you can teach them tricks. Very affectionate. They're very social. So you should always have more than one pet rat if you have one. They have these long tails, the bear tails. Lots of people think that is nasty. Lots of times they get bad reputations for that. But they don't realize they use that tail for thermoregulation. They use that tail for balance. Usually what I try to tell people is, when they are buying a hamster for their child and you're getting one, a lot of times consider a rat. Rats are, a lot of my experience, easier to tame down. You get one from his baby. They're like us. They're very, very affectionate. They're very, very intelligent. They're very clean. Teach them tricks. So if you are looking for a pet that is not too high maintenance, that is extremely affectionate, look into a rat. The next animal we're talking about is also another misunderstood animal. Lots of people think they look like rats. They have a bear tail similar to rats. And this one that we show you, you may have never seen before because it is not native here. Here in Mississippi, we are not allowed to keep native animals. This is a four-eyed opossum. If you look, he actually has those white eyebrows, and that is how they get that name, four-eyed opossums. These guys are not native here. They're native to South America, and as you can tell, they're much smaller than the opossums we have. Since we cannot keep native species, I use non-native opossums as ambassadors to talk about opossums. Since opossums have such a bad reputation but are so very beneficial, we have the largest type of opossum in the world, which are called the Virginia opossum. The Virginia opossum is the only marsupial that we have in the United States. Marsupial meaning they actually have their babies in a pouch. So many times you see one that may have passed away or got hit on the side of the road. I tell people to be sure to check their pouch, or be sure to check to make sure there's no babies that are crawling around that need to be rescued and taken to a wildlife rehabber. Opossums are opportunistic eaters. So if you have cat food or dog food, they may come up in there and try to eat some of that food. One thing many people don't realize is that opossum have the most teeth as far as mammals go. So they use those teeth to scare you away. So when you open up that trash can, you see one gaping and hissing at you. It is actually trying to scare you away. They most likely actually do not tend to bite. If that doesn't work, then they play dead. They play possum. It's actually a defense mechanism that they do, and it can last up to 6 hours of them playing dead. If you see the bare tail, they have a prehensile tail. It is a myth that opossums hang from tree, but they do use that tail as another hand, and these guys can carry things with it. They love to build nests, and they use it so they can grab twigs. They can grab, in our case, at Safari Tales, we love to shred newspaper up, and they walk around with shredded newspaper and build a nest really high. It's very adorable. So he has went to sleep. Since these guys are nocturnal and marsupials, they love to stay in the pouch. So we are gonna let him go back to sleep and introduce you to another animal that is not so misunderstood, that is commonly kept as pets. And that is a hedgehog. Hedgehogs are commonly kept as pets. They make okay pets since they are fairly easy to take care of. Hedgehogs are often mistaken as porcupines since they both have quills. That is about the only thing they have in common with the porcupine, is that they both have quills. Here at Safari Tales, we have Harlequin, and we have our brand new little baby African Cape porcupine. It is a myth that they can shoot their quills. Neither hedgehogs or porcupines can shoot their quills. But porcupines can release their quills, and it would hurt very badly if they were accidentally to quill you. Hedgehogs, on the other hand, cannot. Hedgehogs have up to 5,000 quills, and the only place that they do not have quills is their belly. Right there. So usually when they feel threatened, they will roll up in a tight ball, so their predators will not want to eat them. Hedgehogs also get the name from that nose right there. They love to forage in their ground. They are insectivores, so they usually root in the ground, kind of like a hog or pig would do, and they forage for all kinds of grubs, different types of bugs. Here is Winston. He loves to eat lots of mealworms and superworms. Those are his favorite tasty treats. That we're going to show you is not a misunderstood one. Most people love them. Chinchillas are the softest animals in the world. We have 2 to 3 hairs per follicle. A chinchilla can have anywhere from 50 to 80 hairs per follicle. Since they are so soft, these guys used to be hunted for their fur coats. It takes anywhere from 100 to 150 chinchillas for one fur coat. These guys, since they are so soft and their fur is so dense, these guys do not take baths in water. They actually take dust baths. In the wild, they are native to the Andes Mountains. They actually use volcanic ash to take baths. So it's very cute when they take baths. They roll around in it. So when we touch them, we may get oil on their fur. Afterwards, I will go give him his dust bath. He will roll around there all adorable, and he will come out very nice and clean. I don't always recommend these guys as pets. They may make a good pet. I just always say research and know what you're getting yourself into. They are so adorable, but sometimes they can be more skittish. They can jump around 6 to 8 feet. They are very fast. So not all of them may be as cuddly as you would think. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Since we were not able to physically be there, we decided to bring you here to Safari Tales and also see some animals that we would not be able to bring to you. All right, this is Leroy, this is Lenny. Leroy and Lenny are called ringtail lemurs. Lenny is about to totally mess with the camera again. Lenny, come here. They're not monkeys, they're actually in the Prosimian family. They're closely related to the bush babies. Ringtail lemurs, all lemurs are actually endangered. They are from Madagascar in Africa. Lots of people want them as pets because look how adorable these guys are. Look how fun they are. But just because they're fun, I'm always quick to explain when you come to visit how important it is to research, because yes, they are fun. Yes, I love them. But they do not make good pets for the average person. These guys, after 2 to 3 years, they are known to possibly get aggressive to strangers. They live in troops. The females are the bosses of the troops. We have 2 boys and they are both neutered. There's Leroy walking around in the background. See, are y'all gonna come back? And he's gonna go mess with the camera. They are always into something. These guys also have huge canine teeth that he is actually chewing on the camera with. Leroy, come here. Which is another reason why if one were to bite, it would not be good. So these guys do not make good pets for the average person. But we do like to show you guys in here, and we like to educate about them. They make excellent ambassadors.
This is our raven, Emerson. Ravens can live in a variety of habitats, from snow, desert, mountains, to forests. When it comes to intelligence, these birds rate up there with chimpanzees and dolphins. Ravens are known to hide their food. If it knows another raven is watching, it will pretend to put the food in one place while really hiding it in another. Also, ravens can learn to talk better than some parrots.
Hi, Emmer. Hi, Emmer.
Hello.
Hello.
This is one of our newest babies, King Louie. He is a Bennett's Wallaby. They are native to Australia. As you can see, they love to spend time outside and hop around, but he also likes to be really lazy and hang out in his pouch for multiple hours in a day. These guys are Coatimundis. Here at Safari Tales, we have 3 different breeds. We have a white nose, 2 reds, and a mountain coati. Coatis are omnivores with a lot of energy and a curious streak. As you can see, we don't take our phones into their enclosures because they will take anything that they can get their hands on. This is Binky. He's an eastern gray kangaroo. He is a marsupial and he is also native to Australia. We named him Binky because when he was a baby, in his pouch he used to suck on his tail 24/7. These guys are red kangaroos. They are the world's largest marsupial. A red kangaroo can reach speeds of over 35 miles an hour. They can also jump 6 feet high. A female kangaroo can only have 1 baby at a time, which at birth is smaller than a cherry. This baby will not emerge from its mother's pouch for 2 months. These guys are Patagonian cavies. We have several here at Safari Tales. Cavies are the world's 4th largest rodent. This guy is our baby capybara. He will soon grow to be about 150 pounds and about 25 inches in height, which is the world's largest rodent. This guy is a sulcata tortoise. He is the world's 3rd largest tortoise, right after the Aldabra and the Galapagos. They are also called the African spurred tortoise and come from the Sahara Desert. They usually weigh about 200 pounds. This guy right here is just a baby, so eventually he will get to this size and even bigger. This is Foxy Roxy. She's a fennec fox, and this is Rocket Man. He is a pale fox.
What? You excited? Come on, Rocket Man. Let's see this.
Foxes are related to wolves, jackals, and dogs. But unlike their relatives, they are not pack animals, although these two love to hang out together. Foxes are known to be friendly and curious, although you should never approach one in the wild. This is Ducky. He's an Asian water monitor, and he is native to Southeast Asia and South Asia. They are the world's second heaviest lizard after the Komodo dragon. Their bodies are muscular with long, powerful tails. Water monitors are carnivores, and they consume a wide range of prey, including fish, frogs, rodents, birds, crabs, and snakes. Water monitors are excellent swimmers and use that long, powerful tail to propel themselves through the water. This is Ozzy, our two-toed sloth. As you can see, he loves vegetables. Sloths are the world's slowest mammals. So slow, in fact, that algae can grow on its furry coat in the wild. The plant actually gives them a greenish tint, and they use it as camouflage. We do offer sloth encounters here at Safari Tales, so maybe one day you'll be able to meet him and hold him. Thank you so much for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it. We know we definitely did. And we hope to see you one day soon here at Safari Tales.
Perry, no, Perry. Ah, Perry! Hey, okay, that's exactly what I'm talking about. What is this? That's my Dewey. Please don't break it. Please don't break it. Please don't break it. Please don't break it. Hello, everyone. I forgot my name. Right? And he likes to play with hats. Just like that.
Perry,
Don't you mess with that camera, Perry.
come here. Step up.
Perry. Most kids think that's poop. It's not poop. Buddy distracted me by saying, okay, okay, okay. Okay, yeah, okay. Ch-ch-ch-chilla. Ch-ch-ch-chilla. Little cutie. I'm stealing food. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, let me see. Holy mercy. Lenny is about to totally mess with the camera again. Lenny, come here. Oh. Where are you at?